Hey everyone, Meinke here from MLive&apos, joined by Justin Rogers. Big week for the Lions, as you can tell by my elbow, my big week elbow pads. Justin, I know you're a big fan.
You do not understand the big boy pads term, Kyle, at all.
Might have been a miscommunication there. No, the Lions are playing the Cowboys this week on Sunday in the first round of the playoffs. It's a big thing, obviously, for the Lions. But the story of Ndamukong Suh has kind of overpowered some of the other storylines going into this game, being suspended for that step on Aaron Rodgers and then later reinstated via a successful appeal, something very few players are able to do. We spoke to Suh for the first time today. Lots of no answers, next questions, and that kind of thing. Justin, what was your big takeaway from this story and from talking to Suh today?
First, we didn't get to say it, but I think we both agree that the decision to overturn the suspension was the right one.
Absolutely.
It was a finable act. I think we both agree there was some intent there, but a suspension was too much.
And that's what Cottrell ruled too. I think sometimes that gets overlooked is, yeah, he took away the suspension, but he still said there was intent. He's in the ruling. I mean, he was fined $70,000.
It's a lot of money.
It's a huge fine. It's one of the biggest NFL history.
Yeah. As for the press conference, it was about what I expected. As Kyle mentioned, a lot of next questions, thinking about Dallas, no comments. He wants to look forward, and he did his best to control the press conference. He did that. Whether he controls the message remains to be seen.
Yeah, and that was my takeaway. I mean, he tried to control the situation, and he did dominate the press conference. I mean, he's the guy behind the microphone. Did have 10 no comments. Did have 12 instances of "I'm just looking forward to Dallas" or something similar to that. But I don't know if he controlled the message, because all he does by not answering those questions is opening up more discussion points on rumor and innuendo and theorizing on what happened and his intent behind it and that sort of thing. I think he would have done himself a service by answering a few questions, at least by what had happened. But it's his right to say or not say whatever he wants to say, and it's our job to ask the questions and to write what he says. And I think today kind of hopefully closes the book on that. We can just look forward to a really intriguing game between a dominant defensive line from the Lions and really intriguing offensive line from the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, that's going to be an incredible matchup. I don't know how much Lions fans have watched Dallas this year, but Tony Romo has been fantastic, completing about 70% of his passes this year. DeMarco Murray, leading rusher in the NFL, and all of that kind of goes and funnels to their offensive line. They've spent 3 first-round draft picks on guys that have all paid dividends and what their expectations were in the last 4 years. And that group, it's almost exactly how the Lions have invested in their defensive line with Suh, Fairley, Ansah. And so to see that matchup and how it plays out, I don't think they've seen anything like Detroit's defensive line all year, and I don't think that offensive line's seen anything like Detroit's defensive line. It's going to be the matchup, I think, that decides the game.
Yeah, and that's why, to a degree, I think we're all fortunate that Suh is reinstated, because that's such an intriguing matchup between 3 first-rounders on the Lions' offensive line, 3 on the Lions' defensive line, and 3 on the Dallas Cowboys' offensive line. I mean, Dallas, they have Tony Romo, who's completing nearly 75% of his passes in the final month of the season. You got Dez Bryant, who's setting all kinds of touchdown records at receiver. But this is still a team that like so many others, but they're a team built around the run. They have that dominating offensive line. DeMarco Murray rushed for more yards than anyone in the league, and that really sets up what Romo's able to do. Exactly. We talked to Tony Romo today, and we asked him, both Justin and I asked him about his accuracy and why he has had so much success, almost 70% on the year. And he said that it's part of his natural progression as a quarterback. But you, with a great follow-up, asked just about the having bigger throwing lanes and better throwing windows because of what they're able to do with the rush game and the threat that poses. And I think any chance the Lions have of the upset starts with being able to contain that rushing attack.
And I mean, the offensive line gives him, a fortnight in the pocket to decide what he wants to do.
Yep.
Again, it all starts with the offensive line. They've got to be able to contain Murray with less than 7 or less defenders in the box. They start bringing 8 down there. It's going to be Dez Bryant in one-on-one matchups, and I know Darius Slay's played really well this year. I know that Glover Quinn has been excellent, but Dez Bryant is just a shade below Calvin Johnson. He is a outstanding superstar receiver, one of the 5 best in the league, and that's not a matchup where you want your guys in one-on-one coverage at all.
That's what we got. Lions starting to turn the page on some of these negative storylines that they've had with Dominic Raiola and now Ndamukong Suh. And moving forward, we hope we can just focus on some football and on some very intriguing football. For Justin Rogers, I'm Kyle Meinke. We are MLive. Keep it right here.